The hard line, if Trump and his party stick to it, will likely lead to a government shutdown fight. Some Democrats have said they won't support a spending bill in December, when current government funding expires, without protections for Dreamers, setting the stage for the possible shutdown. Senate Majority Whip John Cornyn, R. Texas, said Republicans likely won't address the status of Dreamers, undocumented immigrants who came to the U.S. as children until January or February. He was among the Senate Republicans who met with the president earlier Thursday. Senator Tom Cotton, R.R., who also attended the meeting with Trump, said, "We definitely ruled out putting any kind of protections for Dreamers in an omnibus spending bill. Period. End of story. Instead, dealing with the Dreamers must be part of larger legislation that addresses other immigration issues," he said. Nearly 700,000 young immigrants are at risk of losing deportation protections and work authorization because of Trump's decision in October to end the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, known as DACA. The program allows young undocumented immigrants who came to the U.S. as children to stay and work legally on a temporary basis. The party line from the president and Republicans has been that Congress had 6 months from Trump's announcement on ending DACA to come up with a plan to prevent large-scale deportations. After the 6-month period, larger numbers of DACA recipients who the president barred from renewing their status will begin to lose it. In reality, though, DACA recipients are already being affected by the decision. Trump's decision to end the program prevented anyone without protections from receiving them. It also will lead to some current recipients losing their status before March 6. As many as 22,000 people who were eligible under the president's plan to renew their status under DACA did not do so, according to the Department of Homeland Security, which administers the program. They will become at risk of deportation before March 6, which is why immigrant rights advocates have said Congress must act as soon as possible, rather than waiting until early next year. Some immigrant rights advocates believe that attaching Dreamer protections to a spending bill is the best or only way to get them through Congress. Some conservative House members said last week that House Speaker Paul Ryan, R. Wisconsin, told them he believed DACA provisions would be in the spending deal, although he later denied it. Cotton, who has with Trump's backing pushed for a bill that would cut legal immigration in half, said that there was agreement at Thursday's meeting with Trump that a DACA package must end so-called chain migration, which allows people to sponsor for visas family members besides spouses and unmarried minor children. The logical, coherent, tightly wound package of giving legal status to the DACA recipients is trying to control chain migration, as well as measures for greater enforcement of immigration laws, he said. Such measures include enhanced border security, hiring more immigration judges, and mandating employment verification of immigration status. But at the same time, Cotton said such a legislative package should not be comprehensive. Cornyn said Trump asked that any DACA package it address chain migration and the diversity visa lottery. Trump has called on Congress to eliminate the latter program following the terrorist attack in New York City on Tuesday, allegedly perpetrated by a Uzbek immigrant who came to the U.S. in 2010 on a diversity visa. Those visas are granted each year to about 50,000 people from countries with lower immigration levels, about half of them in Africa. Senator James Lankford, R. Oklahoma, who was also in the meeting with Trump but declined to comment on its specifics, said he favors ending the diversity visa lottery, although not necessarily as part of a DACA package. He is a sponsor of a bill that would grant legal status to certain Dreamers, and said it was important that a DACA package not get too bloated. There are a lot of issues on immigration, Lankford said. The challenge has been it gets so big, at some point it gets so weighty, that everyone has enough reasons to vote against it as well as for it and it dies.